Montoya made his F1 debut in 2001 for the Williams-BMW team. Having won the Kart Series Championship, he was known as a fast and adaptable driver with a bit of a temper and was expected to fight against the likes of Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, F1 champions for the year 2000. Already at the third race of the season in Brazil, the two drivers had their first true fight. Although driving a heavier fueled car, Montoya overtook Schumacher at the restart and used his powerful BMW engine to successfully defend from the champion and lead the Grand Prix. Sadly for him, he retired from the lead when he had a crash while lapping Jos Verstappen. 3 races later in Austria, Montoya's slow to turn on Michelin tires will have him again on the defense from Schumacher, but this time an overzealous move from the Colombian will ruin both their chances of winning the Grand Prix. At the British Grand Prix, it was Schumacher's turn to run with a heavier car, and although the Williams driver overtook him on track, the German had defended for long enough to create the necessary gap and in the end win the race. As the Michelin Bridgestone tire war continued, different tracks and different weather conditions provided an advantage to different teams. Juan Pablo had won his first F1 race in Italy, and next up at the Indianapolis circuit, he and Williams had gained the upper hand, and the Colombian grabbed the opportunity to overtake Schumacher. That would be their last duel for 2001. They started 2002 by battling each other for the win at the season opener, the Australian Grand Prix. Early in the race, Montoya passed Schumacher, but later on the German came back as the conditions cooled to continue an epic fight. Then, Michael set up a classic move, overtook Montoya and took the race win. Up next was the Malaysian Grand Prix, and the two drivers started from the first row of the grid. As they went side by side into turn 1, Schumacher tried too hard to defend the inside line and understeered straight into Montoya, losing the Colombian precious time and positions and himself losing his front wing. But for some strange reason, the stewards deemed Montoya was at fault for not leaving enough space and issued him with an unfair penalty. Juan was furious.
I gave him room. Half of the track, because we're racing. I gave him enough track for him to go around the first corner. I could see him understeering to me, and when I saw it, it was a bit, I couldn't really do anything. I was expecting just to touch it a little bit, but that was it.
do you think maybe he was dealt with quite harshly today?
Honestly, to be honest, yes, because I would think we have seen situations far more extreme where nothing has happened, and today a little touch, something was done.
The feud reached boiling point at the next race in Brazil, as they once more started from the first row and touched at the opening lap, but this time they didn't agree on which one was at fault and kept blaming each other during their interviews.
How did you see it? How do I see it? You're meant to do one move, he did it, I went for the inside, he did another one and took my front wing off. You know, but probably because it's Michael, they're not gonna do anything.
I don't think it is really important what he says in this moment. You all know that racing drivers sort of have a initial reaction on something. When they see maybe the video, they see it differently. I know I moved over to the left quite far before the braking, and he must have touched me at some stage.
You will have a chat together? Not really. You know, he does that again, I won't live.
We will have to wait for some races before another Schumacher vs Montoya moment came at the European Grand Prix. Things were pretty straightforward this time around, with Schumacher making quick work of Montoya early in the race to maximize his two-stop strategy and finish second in the race. Their ninth altercation came at the wet British Grand Prix. Schumacher's intermediate Bridgestone tyres were superior to Montoya's wet Michelin's, with the German taking full advantage, overtaking Juan and grabbing the race win. Monza produced their last fight for 2002 and Schumacher once again prevailed. Michael used Juan's slipstream and passed him easily down the start-finish straight on his way to second place.